Sup everyone, Darkscream217 here. With me is Lanceechidna.
Sup?
And the Fighting Gentleman.
How's it going?
And we dominating.
We are the nation.
Domination.
That is a working title. We don't have an official one, but we want to put something with the words dominating on it, so that'll have to do. So, we do have some topics here listed to discuss.
Yes.
This may be a weekly thing. It's a variety of stuff. Some of it's actually pretty recent. Let's cover gaming first. If any of you guys ready to chime in?
Yes,
What we got here? Let's see the paperwork. Resident Evil 6. Not talking about that.
You already talked too much about that.
Talk too much, not enough. Oh god.
If you can talk about, if you got talking about, two of the games that are making big news, Metal Gear Rising and the newly released DmC. You gotta talk about that for a second, man. You gotta talk.
Two games that actually are worth buying. Two games that are worth buying, in my opinion.
Are you eating something?
Yes, I am.
Oh, Jesus Christ, dude.
I'm eating. But no, man. With Devil May Cry, it came out recently, and the funny thing is, though, even though I don't know about y'all, I haven't played it yet, aside from the demo, and seen the final gameplay footage of it, as opposed to the demo. It looks just about the same, which isn't a bad thing, but the thing I'm a little skeptical about is the feedback that the critics and the fans are getting. The critics are praising it. The fans, however, are pissed off, and we know why. We know why. For all the kind of the same reasons why the fans are pissed off about Metal Gear Rising Vengeance, even though we clearly know that this is not going to be a game with stick in it. So.
Well, okay, but here's the thing. Lance is actually on the opposite side of the fence.
Yes,
he's actually on the side of the people who are pissed off about DmC. So, Lance, what do you got to say about what Jamal had to say?
Okay, I'm about to go balls deep into this. Okay,
I forgot my camera, man. God damn.
All right. Okay. First, we all know when the new DmC trailer was announced, not that many people were excited for it. One of the notable things that people first pointed out was his appearance. Now, for me, I'm an open-minded person. I'm not so negative to change. I like change. Change is never a bad thing. But then when more and more videos came out, we started to notice in the gameplay department, it's very lacking, and the story itself, it's not all that original. It seems to borrow from other properties. Like, for example, what was it? We've started seeing videos of the gameplay. People have noticed, okay, it's not as in depth or exciting as the previous ones.
It does have a little bit of a jagged feel to it, I will admit.
It's much lower, and I gotta say, in terms of developers, I don't know why Capcom went to Ninja Theory. Yes, they made decent games, but they're on decent. That's about it. If anything, I think it would have made more sense if they took it to Team Ninja or Platinum Games, the people who are best known for making one of the best hack and slash action games. But for wherever they went with them, and I
totally agree.
And I played a demo, and my friend bought the game not too long ago, and I actually played a little bit with him. And from what I played, it's not that special. Here's why I don't like this game. I say, even if it's a reboot, you still have to meet the standard from the previous games. The last Devil May Cry was Devil May Cry 4, obviously. What did that have? That had style switch styles on the fly, switch weapons on the fly, lock on, all those different things, but this DMC, is starting to just taking previous steps back from the other ones. I don't believe, spending $60 on an inferior product. And I've seen all these reviews, and pretty much, yeah, I'm about to go on that for a little bit, but yeah, I've seen all these reviews, and pretty much making it seem as though this is the best DMC out there when it's not. And this is not me being a hater. I'm just pointing out the facts. You're getting less of a product than in the previous games. And I say, it's proof. I'd say just pick up Devil May Cry 3 and 4, then play DMC. And not only
as
that,
good as this game is, I doubt seriously that it is as good as Devil May Cry 3, which to me is the best one in the series. Now, Devil May Cry 2 in hand.
Yeah, we all
We're not
know.
talking about that. No, there's none. No, there is no argument.
Then I find it funny that all these people trying to compare. So no, when you compare the new DMC, don't compare to 3 and 4. Compare it to just the first Devil May Cry. I said no, that's BS. No, if you're going to make a reboot, I'm going to compare it to all 4 previous games. I don't care what you say. Even if it's a reboot, you gotta meet the standard plus exceed it. There's no excuse. And also what Darkscreen was mentioning before about the review scores and how everyone's praising it. It's something about that. Even before the game came out, the scores were like 8s, 9s, and 10s.
Comes off the superficial.
Yeah, so, and we not, also, some people can think, these are probably paid reviews, which is, not, like a conspiracy theory. It's kind of
The reality, yeah.
It's kind of reality, yeah. So most of these reviews are paid. And I think about, especially all the negative, the negative feedback this game has had, for all we know, these pays could have been all these reviews could have been paid in order to kind of like change customers' minds into, buying the game.
It kind of reminds me of Resident Evil 6's review that came out before the game came out. And there was only one group review on it. I think it was like PlayStation Magazine, and they gave it a higher score, but everyone else, after the game came out, gave it a bad score. So it's like, okay, come on. And we already know how bad Resident Evil 6 was. So yeah, it's not a
Hey, Jamal,
weird possibility.
I gotta interrupt you. When you say we, what do you mean?
What do you mean?
I don't know. It's just that I think there are people who do like Resident Evil 6. I have a few friends who do accept the game for what it is. So you kind of gotta speak for yourself there, buddy.
Yeah, I understand that there is a division of opinions with that game, but I hate to say it here. Let's be honest. Resident Evil 6 is not the same quality of other Resident Evil games. There's no way anyone can argue that point with me, because we could take a look back at any of the other Resident Evil games and see the huge fucking difference in quality. So, if it makes it worse of a game, then yeah, I'm gonna make that comparison. But if it weren't a bad game, I'd have nothing to say about it other than good things. But no, I've played it for myself. No. But that's beside the point. Go ahead.
Well, whenever you're ready to wrap up, I want to give my thoughts on DMC.
Sorry. Go ahead.
But with DMC, I have yet to play it, but I'll probably be getting it next week and letting y'all know how I feel. But I have a feeling that even if I like it, it's not going to be as good as Devil May Cry 3. And I might be against you on this one, Lance, because, with Ninja Theory, I did not expect them to be halfway as good as what I'm seeing. The one thing I can say about the game is the level design. The level design is very interesting. I like the whole idea of Limbo City and whatnot. As for the characters, however, Dante, he's kind of growing on me. It comes off as a bit more modern. I don't know if that's a good future for the series, but we'll have to see, because it's hard to say because it's being presented from a different standpoint. It was from the Asian standpoint, it's more of a European standpoint, with Ninja Theory being stationed where they are and with backgrounds and whatnot. One thing I didn't like about the game is the feedback that the developers gave the fans. Like they treated them like shit, like complete douchebags.
Yes.
They made them feel as if them having an opinion that was opposed to what creative decisions they were going to make early on before the gameplay was unveiled. They made it feel as if because they were opposed to the opinion that they were some bad people and whatnot. It kind of reminds me of, what was it, Mass Effect 3? Remember one of the developers was talking about how they feel about Day 1 DLC, and the fans were kind of pissed off about it because, let's face it, Mass Effect is not one of those games. The Day 1 DLC is something typical. Now, Call of Duty, on the other hand, or something along those lines, yeah, I could see that, even though I'm not even going to talk about that, but yeah.
All right.
I'll have to see how the game is.
Man, you can run your mouth, dude.
I
thought you were going to be like done in a minute. You're like in 5 minutes. Okay, anyway. My thoughts on DmC before getting into the game. I did play the demo, and I thought it was all right. I did like some of the features you mentioned, including Limbo City and all that. My problem with with the whole DmC reboot, and you know what, I'm going to call it that because Ninja Theory doesn't know what to call it. It was originally a reboot, then it was supposed to be a prequel to Devil May Cry 3, but then they said, oh, it's like in an alternate universe, so they like giving it the Mega Man treatment or something.
We don't even fucking know. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not entirely too sure about that, so I'm just going to call it a reboot for now. And see, the problem is that let's look at The Amazing Spider-Man, the film, how that film got treated before its release, how people said, oh, it was too early to reboot it, they should have kept with the Raimi continuity, this new Peter Parker's emo. Well, guess what? That's how I felt about DmC. I thought it was too early to reboot that series. 10 years is not a fucking long time, people.
Yeah, I agree.
It really isn't. My dad told me. My dad told me your 20s are going to go by really fast. And he may be right.
Oh, yeah.
But and 10 years old.
23 pretty soon.
And if you're 10, you're still a kid. So I thought, in video game age, you know, we have like franchises that are over 10 years old that could probably that are more deserving of a reboot than Devil May Cry. I'm like, you're going to reboot this already? After 4 games in one console?
Gradius? Anyone?
4 games in one console generation apart.
Which doesn't make any fucking sense when you think about it.
So I was like, really, that soon? And okay, so the initial reaction to the teaser trailer of Dante, him being a smoker, which they got rid of in the new in the recent edition, it was ill received. All that.
Right.
But as time progressed, people warmed up to it, which I'm not against. What bugs me is that they are now hitting treacherous levels. People are like saying, oh, well, the Devil May Cry games that you played back in the day, they were not as good as you remembered it. You have to bend over and accept this. I'm like, what the fuck? Even Capcom, even some of the Capcom staff members are doing it, which is why Dante's got a new appearance. It wasn't Ninja Theory, that was all Capcom. So,
yeah, of course. All Capcom.
So it just feels like a betrayal to the franchise. It really does. Like, you're now like, you know, I have no issues with people liking the reboot. In fact, the people who are enjoying this game more are people who never liked Devil May Cry in the first place.
Yeah, which is, you know, in a way, a kind of a good thing, but at the same time, it's like, well, we're getting the same kind of quality games that we were used to getting. And even though Devil May Cry 4 wasn't a terrible game, so at least I can say that it wasn't, you know, I did have some fun with it to some degree. It wasn't this, well, maybe sort of thing about it. I can play that game and still have fun with it. It's not like the second one where, you know, everybody keeps asking me, is the game really that bad? I'm like, well, maybe you might enjoy it, but I played it years ago, and when I played it recently, there was no difference in how I felt about it. It's just a bad game.
The best.
I know art is subjective, but still.
The best case scenario with me in that game, and I don't like to spend full price on a lot of video games nowadays, but hold on, let me check a website. God, what was it? HowLongToBeat.com. It's a fantastic website. It tells you the longevity of a video games. Let's see if DmC is on that list.
I never heard of that website.
It's a great website. My friend told me about it. It basically shows you like speed runs, the average time to complete a game, the average time to complete a game while doing everything. All right. Wow. Main story, 9 hours and 31 minutes average. Main and extra, 13 hours and 3 minutes. Combined, 10 hours. It's a game that's not going to last you more than 20 hours, according to this website, as I predicted. So, if I ever get this game, I'm not going to pay $65 for it. I'm just going to rent it and beat it on a weekend like I do with a lot of games, actually, nowadays.
Yes.
Like, the only games I really like to play full price are fighting games, or, you know, unless of course it's lacking contact. Or RPGs, yeah.
Yeah, because you can't beat that shit in a weekend, and if you do, what the fuck are you doing?
Now, chances are the game may eventually get a huge price drop later on in the day, but later on a year or next year.
Not for the DLC, man. You gotta get that DLC to make cry.
Dude, I don't want the fucking DLC. I don't fucking care.
Yeah, we're playing the brand new DmC. It's called DLC. You gotta buy. That's how much you gotta pay for the rebellion. 200 points. Yeah. Yeah, that's another thing about this game, man. It does not have an excessive amount of DLC. Like, doesn't it really, like, come on, man. You got all these damn weapon skins. I know they don't alter the game. Jesus Christ, man. The game, this is a whole nother rant I'll
Are you
get into.
complaining about a lack of DLC?
No, I'm saying there's too much DLC.
Too much DLC.
Yeah, especially DLC.
Opposite.
Especially DLC. There's
This game just came out 2 weeks ago.
Oh yes,
it's not a shooter. It's not. It has no multiplayer, but it's got all this damn DLC, and I don't have a problem with single player games. It's having multiplayer, but come on, give me a fucking break. This game has not even been out a month yet, and wow. It has well over a good amount of DLC with it in terms of the amount. Now the quality of it, however, yeah, it's starting to remind me of the Assassin's Creed game all over again.
Alright, well, anyways, like I said,
type of DLC, which is, asinine.
I'm just gonna give this game a pass for now, but there is one game I am curious about that I may actually, get this game pretty soon. Well, probably not on launch. I may have to wait a while, but I haven't played the demo yet because Microsoft doesn't care about silver members anymore, but I want to play Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance.
Yeah.
To let y'all know, y'all probably going to hate me. I have gold. I downloaded it a couple days ago. Actually, no, last night. Wet dream come true. I mean, it took a little while for me to get used to some of the mechanics, and there's a tutorial that you can optionally skip. The game is pretty fast-paced and fluent. There's a couple little things here and there. The only bad thing I can say about the game is the camera, and it's not like ridiculous, but a game of that nature, yeah, the camera at times can be a little, that's kind of how I felt about the DmC demo. The camera was kind of all over the place. I'm like, well, maybe they'll fix it in the final version. But after playing through that demo like 7 times, and I repeat, 7 times of different playthroughs, I love this game. It's looking great, feels good to go in blade mode and do all those other things. And the boss fight is actually pretty interesting. Which I did not expect. It kicked my ass quite a bit of times, but the visuals just, man, I'm getting this game, and I recommend you all get it too. The demo is going to kind of big in size. It was almost 2 gigs, though, so just a little footnote beforehand.
Lance, you played the demo too, didn't you?
Yes, I did. And to this day, I'm still playing this demo because it's so much to do in this demo, because like, okay, action game, this takes the action genre and just re-innovates it with the whole, but with the blame mode is probably, I say this is probably the number one reason to give this game a shot. You will fall in love with this blame mode, because the fact is that you can pretty much cut anywhere, any way how you want it. Yeah, which sounds kind of minuscule, but for me it's so much fun when you do it, and you like once you start you can't stop. Not only that, but the fighting in it is crazy.
No, once you stop, you can't stop.
Oh yeah, pretty much. But yeah, like I'm still playing this demo because there's so much stuff you gotta learn. When I first played through it, yeah, I'm doing just regular, square, triangle combos. But then I play it again, I noticed they're actually hitting moves that the game doesn't tell you. Like if you press up, or you press say up X, you actually do a launcher. Or if you do say back forward, you will do like this force push kind of move. Or if you do say back forward triangle or Y, you do like the capoeira move where he sticks the sword in his feet and he like does like this capoeira move. It's just like freaking insane. Like this game is crazy, and it makes me even more angry. Not because of this game, but it makes me wish like, man, I wish Devil May Cry was developed by Platinum Games, because if they did, Devil May Cry 5, developed by Platinum Games, would have been insane. It would have been crazy.
Speaking of Platinum Games, go ahead.
But yeah, in terms of Metal Gear Rising, yes, I love the game. I can't wait for it. Exceptional entry to the Metal Gear franchise, and all you people who are pretty much dismissing this game, just the fact that it doesn't have Snake in it, please, people,
stupid idiots, by the way.
Which is stupid, yes, but still, I would say give the game a chance. Don't be so closed-minded. Just give it a chance.
And if you don't want to give it a chance, then have patience. At least it's not a reboot. At least you're still getting stealth games of Metal Gear Solid. I don't know if it's starring Snake or not, because I've still yet to play and complete
I want
MGS4.
to find out if he is in there. But actually, the storyline takes place after MGS4, so you don't even need to play Metal Gear Solid to enjoy this game. And personally, I'm not. At least not. I'm not to enjoy this game. This game is just.
The reason why I want to play a game is because Cyborg Ninja.
Oh yes, exactly. Cyborg Ninja.
I've always wanted to play one since I saw Gray Fox in the first Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah,
speaking of which, Gray Fox DLC people.
Yeah, it's a pre-order bonus actually with
but even though it's mostly cosmetics, there are actually differences in some of the stats. Yeah, I mean, come on, man, we've been wanting this for years, yo. And they say talking about potential epic upgrade at the end, which I don't know what it is, but if you ask me, it's got to be his gun. What else could it be? I mean, it's got to be his gun. If anybody knows anything about Gray Fox, he had this this gun grafted to one of his arms, or however that worked.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was pretty cool, especially in the Twin Snakes. Whenever you would see his face. In the original one, you would see his face with the mask. In the Twin Snakes, you would see his face and the mask would close up, which was just like, oh my god, I sure hope that they have that. But without segueing too much, speaking of Platinum Games, THQ, the studio that makes Darksiders, they recently went bankrupt.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of disappointed by that.
Which as it was.
I do love some of the games that they make, like Saints Row, and I bought WWE 13 from them recently, and I love the shit out of that game.
I'm not a big fan of THQ and their studios, but I'm pretty sure there are many people that are. So, it's kind of sad to see the studio go. A lot of the titles are up for grabs, and one in particular, Darksiders, has been up, and guess who wanted it first? Platinum Games. So, yeah, I mean, could you imagine Darksiders 3 being made by Platinum Games? I mean,
yes, that would be a good home for Darksiders.
It's not a
If that's true, then I may actually give a shit, because I never gave a damn about Darksiders before. But if Platinum Games is gonna do something with it. If it's true, then I am curious.
Well, whether they do or not, they were great games. I advise you to check them out, especially the second one. Anyone else that's played it can vouch for me for that. But yeah, great games. But yeah, I just find it funny that DmC comes out a little bit before Metal Gear Rising, which, you know, it hasn't come out yet. It comes out, what is it, the 22nd of February?
19th.
Is it the 19th?
Mm-hmm.
Shit, that early?
I thought it was the 2nd.
I thought so too, but that's like for everywhere else. We get it on the 19th.
Damn. I don't know, it might be me on the short end about that. But yeah, you'll be able to play both of these games and see the difference in quality. My brother's thinking that, yeah, DmC is going to be better than Metal Gear Rising. I'm like, what are you fucking talking about? Are you kidding me? You know, but he's like played the demo several times, and I don't think he's thinking that anymore, because I'm like, man, I played this demo, me and him both have played this demo several times, and every time I play it, it's so much more fun, even if when I'm just mopping the floor with the competition. The blade move just makes it so much more worthwhile.
Right.
Just before.
Well,
Go ahead.
we gotta wrap this up because we got like 4 more topics to talk about.
Oh, yeah, okay.
But man, anybody that can download this demo, you shan't be disappointed, man.
All right. Next thing I want to talk about, I saw a video that somebody linked on Facebook this week. The video was called "The Review Must Go On," which was actually a 30-minute sketch that was made by Doug Walker, basically saying that after, 6-7 months, he decided to pull the Nostalgia Critic out of retirement, and he's going back to it. His next video will be up sometime February, I think it was February 6. I know it's sometime early February. So, yeah.
That's a long retirement. Oh, man.
So much for that retirement. I bet people who were okay with it are going to be super pissed. Here's since I'm the one who saw the video, I could give you a lot of the details. Could be because his demo reel project probably sucks. I don't know. I haven't seen it myself. I saw the trailer for demo reel. I hated it. It looked.
It's Nostalgia Critic, man. You gonna hate it. So.
But in his little 30-minute sketch, he basically has the Nostalgia Critic character haunting him, and after watching a film called The Odd Life of Timothy Green, basically Doug's saying that he had some new ideas that he wanted to do, but he wasn't entirely sure if he wanted to come back, and he decided that he came back, and the catch is that he's going to upload a video every 2 weeks because he wants to spend more time working on his jokes. To me, that's a good thing because he was getting fucking stale, dude. I used to watch the guy weekly, and then
man, I bailed out years ago. I'm not kidding. I got tired of him, and one of my friends kept being like, "Hey, man, you seen the latest episode?" I'm like, "Man, I don't watch this shit like you do." It got to a point where I stopped watching it, man.
There are people who I do get that same reaction from other people. I'm just like, dude, I watch him when I give a shit, because there are some videos that he uploaded that I was curious about that I would watch, and then I would just say shrug it off or have it be, because I had that time to kill when I was in college. But yeah, he was relying too much on a bunch of old tired gags that stopped being funny for a while, so he definitely needs to work on that. He also said that there's not going to be a cutoff date, so it sounded like Nostalgia Critic could review almost anything. He said he's not going to try to review anything recent, but maybe something that's like 3 years old or so, maybe.
It would be nice because, you can only review so many old-ass movies that we know are bad.
Yeah.
To some degree. I mean, try and tackle something that's a little challenging, or at least to some people, tackle some foreign films or something. If you're going to be entertaining us, at least enlighten us and show us something that we aren't ready or expecting already. That's kind of why I got tired of it, because I'm like, you know, you may be ambivalent about this movie, but I love the movie Space Jam. I'm pretty sure anybody else is. Yeah, I'm like, after watching that review, I'm just shrugging my shoulders. I'm like, what exactly was so wrong with this movie that he had to rip it in the way he did? And he was pretty lighthearted about it still, but it was so trivial, the little things he picked.
Yeah.
One thing, personally, if back to stay, I would actually like him to do his commercial reviews. To me, those are personal.
Oh yeah, those are funny.
Those were entertaining. They were really good.
They kind of add his character, you know.
I kind of
I
kind of like the fucking Bubbles gag that he had for a while.
I love it.
But yeah, those were pretty fun, and it would be nice to see if he, did that again or tried something else using the Nostalgia Critic. I am extremely cynical to the rest of that guy with the glasses. I've actually never jumped on that website for a while up until that fucking video got uploaded. I do not care about Bennett the Sage anymore. Fuck that guy. After what Lance told me, what did he say about Sonic the Hedgehog the movie?
Pretty much.
Here it comes.
Nitpicking a whole bunch of stuff that just doesn't make any sense. Oh, he complained about why is it...
No. Don't give me the whole play-by-play. Just tell me that one detail. That one big thing. That was the first thing you told me.
It was the fact that, I told you a lot of stuff. He told me how Sonic... pretty much said Sonic was an asshole in that movie. I'm like...
No.
Well...
No, you
may have to remind me.
You said it was worse than something else.
Oh my
God. Sonic X, wasn't it?
Yeah, he called it was worse than Sonic X. I'm like, what, dude? Really?
And your fucking head is changed, sir.
How can you be an old school anime fan and say something like that? I'm sorry, and I have seen both Sonic X and Sonic, and that it's actually a 2-episode OVA turned into a 60-minute film, but I actually really like that, the original Sonic anime movie. I thought it was entertaining. It wasn't anything deep. It wasn't something you had to watch as a Sonic fan, but it was, it was fun.
It was entertaining. It was entertaining.
I liked it. I liked the fact that Metal Sonic was one of the top antagonists in the film. And I'm actually a huge fan of Metal Sonic.
I actually like Metal Sonic.
Yeah. And the fight scene they had between Metal and Sonic, it was very well animated. It was like I liked the fight. It was
the only criticism I had was the voice acting on that show was, if I were to get a...
Forgettable?
No, not forgettable, just bad.
Not that good.
If I were to license it, I would redub it with the modern cast for sure, because all you need is Sonic, Tails, and Michael Polnick as Dr. Eggman. I don't think anyone would object to that idea.
Oh no.
Helsing would, though, but, this is the guy that thinks Dragon Ball Evolution was a good movie. So, oh my god, yeah, take it. Anyway.
But, back on that guy with the glasses, can't stand that site, and I agree with Magus in his interview with Hado Sengoku that Jesu Otaku just comes off as pretty damn smarmy. I actually had a friend who tried to get me into watching some of the material, and it was just unbearable.
Is it really that bad?
There's a reason why. You know what? I know a lot of people might hate me for this, but I fucking love the channel A Salieri.
It's pretty funny, yeah.
That guy is pretty entertaining. The guy's got some valid points, and, people say he's a giant douchebag or an asshole, but I don't see it. He does come off as a gentleman. If we were to have a one-on-one chat, I'm pretty sure he'd be at least a little civil to me. And then some people, I will admit, he was obsessing over the AVGN movie just a little. But I saw how he responded to the people who responded to him. He took it pretty well. I mean, he's not the devil, like every gamer hater points him out to be. So,
gamer here.
So where was I going with this?
I don't know, because
he doesn't
just
like
like
the website either, and and if he were ever to do an RAR at any of those guys, I would happily defend him.
Yes, I used to be a fan of that website too. The only few reviewers I watched, I watched Nostalgia Critic, but I kind of fell out. He, like I said, he stopped being funny a long time ago. I used to enjoy Fayless reviews, but he just starts coming off as annoying. The only review I do kind of watch now is I still kind of watch Jesse Otaku sometimes, but that's rarely. I used to be there for Ben the Sage, but after that Sonic review, I'm like, oh, screw you, dude.
I used to watch Spoonie, but oh god, that's a whole other topic.
Well, he doesn't count. He's no longer part of that website.
Yeah, even still, dude has problems. So that's a whole other story. Sometimes I will watch Film Brain and maybe Films and Linkara before I got tired of
Oh
him.
man, Linkara got really annoying.
Oh yeah.
Really? Damn.
God.
Is he still doing that I am a man shit?
I don't know. I haven't watched the guy in years. I tried to watch one of his videos, took a nap.
Nah.
I'm gonna get a lot of hate
that's
for
what I'm
this,
doing
but
with most of the videos on the site. But hey, man,
I'm gonna get a lot of heat for this. But man, I've gotten heat about it before because Multifire and I did a little panel on why he doesn't like comic books, and I was just basically there to energize him. But when we got to a discussion in the car, there were people who were just coming to his freaking aid that I was just rolling my eyes. I'm sorry. The guy's voice is grating. He does come off as a little annoying and over the top,
yeah.
Character or not.
Yeah, he comes off as he's just trying, man. And people, I got a little bit of heat for that too, for saying how I felt about that whole website. I'm just thinking like it's just stale and repetitive, man. And people were like, "Well, how can you say that?" I'm like, "Well, I mean, is it not? They've been doing the same thing for years, man. It's kind of like what Silent Rob was doing about when he was making fun of irate gamers, like 5 fucking years, and this is what we're fucking doing." You know what I'm saying? It's kind of sad to come back to the site 3, 4 years later. Weird time frame and the counting backwards, by the way. But no, it's weird to come back years later and to see like not much progression has been made. Like I couldn't tell you who the newest member was, and why should I care? Why?
I don't know. But back to the nostalgic critic. You know what? I'll sit down and watch his Timothy Green review if I have the time, to see if he is fully rejuvenated or he's just as stale as he was before he ended. But I thought the idea of bringing him back was kind of eye-rolling because the way he said goodbye, I thought he handled it pretty well.
Yeah.
He was so sure that he wasn't going to bring back the Critc character, but 7 months later, he's back.
No, he's pulling off. But apparently he wants to be the Brett Favre of the internet.
More or less, just doesn't know when to fucking quit. Because for some strange reason, it just didn't come off as real. I'm like, why is he quitting? And the only idea I could come up with is like, well, maybe he's out of ideas and jokes and just tired of it. But it's only been a few years, man. I mean, when entertainers retire, because I was like, well, if he's going to retire, then AVGN probably will retire too, which is probably why he's trying to just sucker people into paying so much money for that bullshit excuse for a movie. And I hate to say it, but in case anybody has not seen the trailer for the AVGN movie, check it out. Let me know what you think, because I'm not convinced that fucking Kickstarter that he got for that project is worth what I'm seeing. Especially, we're talking about somebody that charged like $10, $15 for each.
You went out.
Uh-oh.
I think we lost our buddy here.
Oh, I think it was dominated too much. He had to take a break for a second.
My call drop. We're talking about somebody that.
Okay, about the whole $15 for a trailer thing. I heard that was kind of a misinformation. It was actually $10, $50 for the film festival, access to the film festival to where the trailer was being hosted, as well as a bunch of other movies and stuff.
Where the hell did that information come from then?
I know the trailer information came from Ace Alieri, but someone else said, "Hey, that was actually for a film festival."
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
This makes sense. I don't know. It had me thinking the other way around. Sorry about that, yo. But still, the movie does not look all that great.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah. It really
As
doesn't. And then plus, we've known about this movie for years as far as the scripting and everything. It's just, this is nothing new here. We
I know.
exactly what we expected.
Here's the thing. They say that Chris Boris has done it before, but I'm like, no, let's go farther back. Remember that one episode of X-Play where they did the same thing? Yes, there was an episode of X-Play where they, years ago, where Adam and Morgan went to that, were supposedly visiting that area where the landfill was with all those E.T. games. I think Adam Sessler was like cosplaying as a character from Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, while Morgan...
He's wearing those big sunglasses.
Yeah, and Morgan Webb was Amelia Earhart. You know what I'm talking about. I'm like, well, they did before. It is a tired formula. I don't know. I saw the trailer. I'm not impressed. No. Everyone else, have fun.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way.
You're going to see the movie, fine. I don't care. No.
Yeah,
I'm not telling you to not watch this movie. I'm just telling you, I'm probably not going to watch this movie.
Yeah, I'm not going to make a 20-30 minute video bitching about how bad it is, because I don't fucking care.
So like I said, I'm just going to give Doug Walker one more chance. If the movie, I never seen The Out Life of Timothy Green, so that's already a little wavy life. I like to see.
You better have good content, because otherwise I'm not going to stick around.
Yeah, I like the reviews I watch are the ones that I do remember from my childhood. Well, he's been reviewing movies I never heard before or I'd never seen or cared about. So, but
right, I mean, there's some
if
old
he's
reviews.
He's stale. That's it. I'm just not gonna watch him. If he's actually really good, then who knows? Maybe I can actually get back to watching the guy. But so that.
I got my favorite reviews of him, and that's pretty much it, man. I mean, oh man.
Lance, what about you? What are your thoughts?
Like I said, maybe eventually I'll probably go back and check out the Nostalgia Critic. Now you say something's coming back, I may, stick around and see how the reviews are. And, just to, like, more of like wait and see kind of thing. That's it.
Alright. Alright, good attitude. Next thing we want to talk about, Adult Swim actually did something kind of cool, apart from the Toonami April Fool's thing, but they did something kind of sweet at the start of this year. For years, there was a rumored episode of Dexter's Lab called Rude Removal, which was apparently never broadcast on Cartoon Network to be too raunchy, and it was supposedly shown at conventions and special panels and stuff. There was no lick of footage or anything that could barely be found online, and everything was just left to rumors and imagination. I originally thought that the Rude Removal story is all bullshit, until for about 2, maybe 3 weeks, my friend Jordan was telling me that Adult Swim was teasing that they have the episode and they may or may not release it. And it's Adult Swim we're talking about here. So they could just F with all of us. But they eventually did release the episode online this week. You can find it on their channel. And I thought, well, it was real. And I saw it, and I loved it. I enjoyed the episode. For those who don't know what the episode's about, apparently Dexter created a machine that removes the rudeness out of an individual. And he puts that machine on himself and Dee Dee after they were in a fight. Now, they're so nice and so polite that they have stereotypical British accents. However, the rudeness got channeled into making clones of Dexter and Dee Dee, and they just, they talk with a gruff voices and just swear, and all the swears are bleeped out, and they're just saying and acting, doing some really ridiculous things. Even the title card, Rude Removal, shows Dee Dee giving the finger and Dexter mooning the audience. And I thought it was a pretty funny episode. It had that retro, cheap '90s style of animation. And I enjoyed it. I think people were expecting more. So it was rumored that that Adult Swim bleeped it themselves, but there was actually somebody who made a fan edit of the episode where he tries to get the characters to say profanity, and then he made a video response explaining how he did it, as well as try to say that, hey, they bleeped this during production. Here's how. He shows like certain audio files. It turns out the bleeps were there with the music, so you can still hear the music in the background while the bleeps are going off. Meaning they probably had no intentions of having a real uncensored version of it. Yeah. So did one of you guys see the episode?
Yeah, I seen the episode, and just like you, Billy, Dark Scream. As you, just like you, Dark Scream. I saw the video. Yes, I was surprised. It wasn't as bad as I thought, but I did hear the rumors that the so-called episode did exist, and when I read that, I'm like, wow, my life would never be complete, because I'm a big That's Just Laugh fan, and when I heard about this, that my life can be complete until I see this episode, and until you showed it to me, you told me that Adult Swim was teasing it. I said, yes, I gotta see it. And when I finally saw the episode, I was pleased with it. I liked the episode. Very funny. I was entertained. Now you compare it to, say, another show that did this, like a similar episode of SpongeBob. It wasn't bad. It wasn't that bad.
No. It might have been the title card. They probably should have redrew that altogether or something. That's because, there was an episode of SpongeBob SquarePants where SpongeBob and Patrick would just swear all the time, and all the swears would get muted out with nautical sounds like dolphin chirps and stuff. And, it wasn't like a once-in-a-lifetime that they aired the episode. They aired that episode a bunch of times, like a decade ago. I caught the episode every time. I'm like, you can't compare removal to that. I am kind of blown away that the Cartoon Network guys didn't allow them to air the episode, because it really wasn't that bad. That was the reason why I was skeptic about the episode's existence in the first place, because why would Gendy Tartakovsky create an episode that's just so R-rated out of a show? There was just something about it that didn't add up mathematically in my head about this.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking that too. You making a show for kids. I was kind of thinking, what made you decide to direct this episode? We're pretty much like right for this episode. And I don't know. I guess
weird. Maybe the way he felt, or maybe he was going for shock value. I don't know.
I know.
Maybe he felt that times were going to change.
Now he is a guy who would slide adult humor into the show, under the radar. It's pretty subtle,
right? But never that overt.
Yeah, but nothing that blunt. So that's what gets me. But it turns out that now that I saw the episode, I said, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, just like you, when I was thinking, it's just the band episode, I was thinking, they're going to have, uncensored language, but then it's bleeped. I'm like, it's not even that bad. Like I mentioned earlier, you can compare this to that SpongeBob episode. They could have aired it,
I guess the Cartoon Network censors, like I said, it's either the title card that got them to go, nope, that, or Cartoon Network was kind of overly conservative at the time.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, it was still like, right, things have changed since then.
Yeah,
they're now airing, it was only in 2006, 2007, they were showing Dragon Ball Z Uncut, and this isn't on Adult Swim or anything. They're just showing it, and the cursing wasn't even that damn bad. It wasn't, even the violence, it wasn't that bad. It's like
regular show.
What do we even?
Regular show's first season had some swearing in it. Like, I remember this one scene where Rigby, I forgot what it was, but Rigby did something stupid to annoy Mordecai. He's like, oh, my arms are in motion. My arms are in motion. No, don't do it, man. Don't do it. You pissed me off.
I was surprised. That's sly. But speaking of that, this is probably going way back, but you remember that Arthur? Wasn't an episode where DW was said a word and they bleeped it out? I think there was. if memory serves me correctly, I think there was an episode like that. No, Arthur is a show like for real, like for the much younger kids. But they had an episode like that.
I'm gonna have to find out what you're talking about because I remember that shit.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen that show, but I think I do know what you're talking about.
I guess, like I said, I guess people thought that. I've seen some of the reactions. Some people were pleased, some aren't. Some were expected to be a lot dirtier. I was, but it wasn't. But it was still an entertaining episode. I especially laughed at the very, very end too. Yeah, and it was and like I said, it was nostalgic for me. Seeing that style. I wish I had Boomerang. I really do, because they do air Dexter's Lab on that channel.
I do, and I can watch it.
I'm gonna kick your black ass!
I'm white, man. What are you talking about?
Too white to be in this nation. Get out of here.
I'm just too white, man. I'm white. I'm responsible. And I pay my taxes. It's pretty goddamn white. Oh, next you're going to tell me where you end up. Yeah, I do. That and Hollister. Anyway. Are you black?
No, I'm white. People think I'm black because of how deep my voice is.
Even though we've seen you on camera. Oh, no.
So, yeah, Dexter's Rerun movie. If you haven't seen it, I hope Adult Swim still has it. If they do pull it down, there's going to be a bunch of people who will mirror it.
Yeah, just
give it a watch. Don't expect anything too raunchy, but
at least it's there to see. Finally, put the rumors to rest.
The rumors are laid to rest. I still say give it a watch. That's all I have to say. I'm pretty sure Lance can also agree with me on that one too.
Yes, I do. All
right. Next thing on the news, I just found out today that one of my absolute favorite anime series, Genshin. Yep. Apparently, it's getting another anime season, and it's supposed to be based off of the continuation of the new Genshin manga, which I picked up and read volume 1 of, and I like it. But there's a lot of yaoi fangirls as main characters, and they're one of them a cross-dressing dude. Yeah. It's going to be tough. I might review Volume 1 of Genshiken 2, but I have to get the other crap of Genshiken out of the way first, because I got to tell people that this is a fucking amazing series. I love it.
Yes,
when I found out it's getting a second season, I'm a little excited, but I'm also a little bit skeptic, because, one, Media Blasters is the licensing holder of the second season of Genshiken, and go look at my rant on what the hell is wrong with Media Blasters, where I talk about their little licensing and releasing conundrums. Skepticism.
Let's check it out.
2, I need to finish the second season of the anime, but I heard it. Anime Overviewer told me ahead of time that it doesn't finish up like the last few volumes of the manga. Like, the manga has more story after where the anime leaves off. And if they were going to start from the second season of the anime, well, everything will be just a little lost and confused. So are they going to continue where the anime left off? Or are they just going to start where the second season manga starts off? Or are they going to do what they did with the OVAs? Just use them as a bridge between the two seasons. But yeah, that's just something I want to quickly add. Lance!
Yes, Darkscreen, I'd like to say that I would like to personally thank you for introducing me into the Genshiken anime, to the series, because, yes, we have talked about anime a lot, and one of the shows that you would bring up a lot was Genshiken. And I'm like, okay, Darkscreen always talking about this show. I want to give it a shot. I actually bought the first season. I watched it. I've completely loved the show, because it's it's not like, you action over the top anime, but I just love how the way it's more down to earth. It's like, cause there are otakus, we're anime fans, so you can kind of relate to the characters so that's what makes the show even more enjoyable for me.
Yeah, it's not like the Big Bang Theory where they insult nerds instead.
Yeah, they hire fake nerds to fake actors to play fake nerds.
Nerd
But
Yeah,
yeah,
it kind of reminds me of the King of the Nerds TV show that recently came out, which I don't know if you've seen it. Yeah.
I'm avoiding like a plague. I heard George Takei is hosting an episode, but even then, as much as
That's not enough.
I
Of
love
course.
George Takei, man, as much as I love him, I'm still not watching it.
No. It's fucking blasphemy. No. What's wrong
No.
with you?
Yeah, at least
Back to
at least
Genji.
yeah, but at least in Genji, they real nerds. They real talkers. They real fans. Some of the characters in that show would do like over the top stuff to like for their hobby. Like some of them like say not even one of the characters wouldn't even may stay off food for a little bit just to buy more DVD.
That's why he's so skinny.
But yeah, I really enjoyed the show. I'm planning on getting the second season of the anime, and if this new anime comes out, I want to watch that too. And I also wanted to ask, I read little bits of information about the new anime. How is it related to the first two seasons, or like is any characters from the first series going to make a cameo, or
All right, the new manga. I think it's bridging. I mean, some of the main characters who existed later on in the series, Ogiwe and Ono, are still there. Fortunately, one of the characters I dislike the most, Kuchiki, is still there. Then they introduced like 3 new like female characters, and well, actually, no. 2 female characters and 1 male character who actually cross-dresses as a female. I know, it's fucking weird. And they're all yaoi fangirls, so I was a little skeptic about that. However, some of the characters from the first series do make enough appearances for me to not completely hate this volume of manga. I still say give it I still give it a recommendation after reading the first 9 volumes of the manga, of course. But as for the new anime series, you probably need to watch the second season before continuing on with this one. Now, if it gets licensed, and I hope it does, I'll just wait till then, because I've actually watched the anime dubbed, and I enjoy it dubbed. It's a little light. The acting is kind of light, on the light side, but Misty from Pokemon as a college American cosplayer, how could you go wrong?
Oh, yeah.
No kidding.
Which I will.
No, because there's not much I can say about this anime because I haven't really watched it, but I've heard you guys talk about it quite a bit, so I'm gonna probably check it out.
Yeah, man. So, yeah. And one last thing before we wrap things up. This is another interesting topic. I don't know if it's rumor or officially confirmed yet, but guess which director is up for grabs on Star Wars Episode 7?
JJ Abrams.
Yes.
J.J. Abrams.
Get your sunglasses ready for lens flare. Lens flares everywhere.
Lens
Yeah,
flare.
I saw a video from one of the subscriptions about it. Yeah, it's not confirmed, but it's all but confirmed at this point, man.
I hope.
Yeah. At least George Lucas is not on it, so the movie has a fighting chance, man.
In my personal opinion, since Abrams claimed to be a fan of Star Wars and not much of a Star Trek fan, which is why he's getting scrutinized for his latest film, personally, I found the latest Star Trek film to be fun and adventurous, and I will agree, it did kind of feel more like Star Wars than Star Trek. So I think he belongs in directing. Yeah, I like the movie. It got me into the other Star Trek films. I don't think the latest Star Trek film's the best one. I still think it's either, well, it could be either 2, 4, or 6. Man, all 3 of those movies are fucking great.
Nemesis was number 5, wasn't it?
No. I'm talking about the original 6 with the original cast. Not the,
That's what I'm talking about. Nemesis, right?
No, Nemesis was the 10th film.
Oh God.
Yeah. After Star Trek 6, it was Generations, First Contact, Insurrection, and Nemesis.
Which was not all that good, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Nemesis.
It was pretty ill received. Some people think it's the absolute worst in the franchise.
Goddamn.
Or out of the TNG films, but
yeah,
Abrams does seem like a likely choice.
He fits, I say J.J. Abrams is probably the best director for this series. We need a new director. J.J. Abrams is he's a science fiction guy. He said he loves Star Wars. He seems to know the lore very, very well. So I think it would fit for him. It reminds me of also, you remember that joke that Red Letter Media made, Mr. Plinkett said, J.J. Abrams should be directing a new Star Wars movie, while George Lucas should be directing people to their seats in the theater.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it should be, man. Putting asses in seats. And, for fans to be working on it, I mean, it has a fighting chance. People can't bitch about, oh, well, George Lucas, oh, man, how's he going to fuck up the Star Wars franchise even further this time? Well, I mean, he sold it off, which I don't quite understand how and why people were bitching about how him being greedy for selling it off for as much as he did, because most of it he gave to charity. I mean, I had a discussion about this and another podcast that I was part of, that he's not really greedy for selling it off that much. And plus, now that he's no longer directing or even part of the project of Star Wars 7, you got a fan. So J.J. Abrams, I mean, yeah, we're going to have tons of fucking lens players, but at least it'll be a good movie. It's got a fighting chance.
Yes,
you shouldn't have anything this time.
Yes, also for you gotta remember, for years, people have said that they were getting tired of George Lucas directing movies. They weren't a fan of his writing. They didn't like the way he was, where the movies were going, and they begged for a new director. And,
they were fucking, the prequels were fucking boring, man. They really were.
They were boring. And imagine how the first movie of the Phantom Menace started out. It was just Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan just
no one even remembers how that fucking movie started.
I remember what it was because it was so boring. I'm like, wow, this is the most boringest intro. just Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan just talking.
Yeah, just not even for a few minutes. Like, it was way longer than 3 minutes. We don't need to see the fucking fighting. We didn't come here for Darth Maul or any of the over glamorized KFC commercials. No, we got some talking to get through. We got all this storyline that no one gives a damn about. I mean, personally, me, even before Jar Jar Binks, oh my God, before he was introduced, I already knew that this was not going to be an enjoyable set of movies. I was like, no more. And then Attack of the Clones. Oh God, why? Revenge of the Sith wasn't as bad as I expected.
But I think what killed the Star Wars prequels was the fact that they try to go all political in these movies. I'm like, isn't Star Wars supposed to be like a movie for kids? Well, for kids and adults. Why is it becoming so political to the point where they speak of all this, political
they make it real political. Yeah, it was like Gundam.
Yeah, they're saying all these different jargons like delegates and and all this political jargon, you may get a little lost, but if you get a little lost, imagine how the little kids are. They have no idea what's going on.
Okay, what's going on? I'm like, who's the bad guys again? I don't fucking know. I thought I did. Now they're all talking, so God, you are.
Like, who and what's the Galactic Senate? Who are they exactly? What do they do?
I give a fuck. Yes,
what's all this about? And what's about
even the way that Attack of the Clones started? It was like, was it Attack of the Clones or was it Revenge of the Sith? What was it? Queen Amidala died like in the first fucking sequence, and you just like, well, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah, it was two. It was one of our.
Yeah, it was the second.
It's one of our decoys.
She just dies. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Yes. My God. I'm beginning to wish that it wasn't a decoy, though, because the one they had, the actress was, oh my God, the acting was so bad. Bad. And another thing, when you can make Samuel Jackson boring, yeah. That's
a huge mistake.
Yes. I mean, Samuel Jackson is that type of actor where he could just be given a role where he's yelling. Nothing in general. And that's the part, and it works. But when you make him boring, oh God, just
Yes, if
he
you
didn't even have a major. Yeah, thank God he didn't have a major role.
exactly. So if you all know Samuel L. Jackson, you know you never cast him as the silent stoic character. You don't do that. Samuel L. Jackson always plays the over the top.
Yeah, you gotta get the jury rather than cut fools down. Oh God.
Yeah, he's got to play over.
Would have afro with finger wings. Oh my God, perm force push.
But yeah, I agree. J.J. Abrams, perfect fit for the character.
I am back, and you mean perfect fit for a director, right?
Oh, director. What
Yeah.
was that?
Okay, sorry. I had to grab dinner. That was a little unprofessional of me. So, you guys were just talking about J.J. Abrams the whole time?
And Star Wars and the direction it was going to, how people were pretty much asking for a new director because they were getting tired of George Lucas directing and the way he was taking the movies. So yeah, this is you got your wish, you got a new director.
Well, yeah, if the rumors are true, anybody could probably direct a little better than Lucas. I mean, he's not a horrible director, but he's kind of he's old. Like, I think the age has affected his directing skills, as like Mr. Plinkett pointed out in the Kingdom of the Crystal Skulls review. Yeah, he was mostly talking about Spielberg, but the same could be said about George.
Yeah. I think it's just the money, because I think I don't know if he was broke or anything when he shot the original trilogy, but he had like a big franchise, so that sort of thing kind of does go through your head, especially when there was so much good art.
Sorry.
Yep.
No, you're cool.
All right. So that's it. That's all we got.
Yeah, I think that's all. I think we covered all the topics pretty good.
Yeah, we dominated.
Yeah, we done.
Yeah.
We dominated.
And also, people
of the nation of dominations raised.
Also, to the audience listening to this, if you could think of a good name for this show, please let us know in the comments. We want something with the word dominating in it. So if you got any ideas,
domination. We could use Nation of Domination, but a certain wrestling company has those rights.
And we
don't want to get sued. We don't have money. We broke.
Yeah. You want to get sued?
All right. So that's all I gotta say. Check out Lanceechidna and Fighting Gentleman's channels, separate from mine. We are probably gonna do this again. That's it. Darkscreep217 signing out.
All right, man. I'll check y'all later. Stay safe.
Same here, man. Stay safe, and please check out the Metal Gear Rising demo. Let us know what you think, or any of the other. Give us any other feedback on any of the other topics we discussed.
Yeah.